Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be learning how to paint Hammers of Sigmar Gold Armour on a Stormcast Vindicator. This is one that I have done before, it's work in progress. As you can see, the armour is finished. This is the gold we are aiming for on this model today. At the top of the screen are all the paints you'll need to paint the armour. I'm going to be using a dry palette as I find metallic paints are hard to use on a wet palette. Our first colour will be Retributor Armour. This will provide a solid gold base coat for us. I'll be applying this with a size 1 brush. This one's from Artist Opus, but you can use any size brush that you feel comfortable with. I have watered the paint down slightly, and we're just going to do a nice thin coat all over the armour to start with. To save a lot of time at this point, you could just buy some Retributor Armour spray from Games Workshop. It's very good gold spray. I think a lot of people use it when painting their Stormcast. Unfortunately, I don't have any, so I am applying the base coat with a brush. This is what it looks like after one coat of Retributor Armour. As you can see, a lot of the base coat is still showing through, so we'll be going over it with a second coat, maybe even a third. I've also painted the shield, which I left in the sprue for easy painting. And this is what it looks like after we've done 2 more coats of Retributor Armour. Next up will be the shading. The first shade will be applied using Reekland Flesh Shade. To apply this, I'm going to be using this size 1 brush from Broken Toad. I find the bristles hold a lot of paint, so it's great for shading. I've loaded up my brush, and starting where you want the colour to be the lightest, you push down to where you want it to be the darkest, as the paint will pool where you lift the brush off the model. You can apply this shade fairly quickly, although some care must be taken to avoid the shade pooling too much in the recesses. And here is what the armour looks like once that shade has dried. As you can see, it's added quite a bit of depth to the armour, but we are going to push it a bit further with one more layer of shading. And for that shade, we're going to use the contrast paint Gore Grunter Fur. And this will be applied using this size 00 brush. Of course, you can use any brush with a really fine tip on it. This shade will be applied to the very deepest recesses, such as here where the armour connects together. When it comes to a larger, flatter area, such as this armour plate in here, I'm going to exaggerate the shading a bit. Although unrealistic, it still adds a bit more interest to the armour plate than it just being flat gold. With the shield, I'm just going to be shading underneath the lip here and inside the little triangle groove bits at the top of the shield also. And this is what the armour looks like, fully shaded. The next up, we will be doing our first highlight. This first highlight will be Liberator Gold. I will be applying this with a size 1 brush. It's a bit hard to see on my brush, it's a bit worn. This will be applied on the edges of the armour, any raised areas, and here at the top of any large flat armour plates. While highlighting, have a think about where the light will reflect and how it will play on the armour. Such on this knee pad there'll be a rounder highlight. For help, put the model underneath a lamp or even shine a torch on it at the angle that you imagine your light source to be coming from. This will help show where your highlight should be placed. Sometimes while painting you do make mistakes, such as I've done here, where I did the highlight a bit too harsh, a bit too thick. Although it's frustrating, it's nothing to worry about. For an area like this, I simply just grab my shade colour and dull down my highlight so it looks good again. And here is what the armour looks like after Liberator Gold highlight. I think it already looks great at this stage and you can easily leave it like this, but I'm going to push it one stage further. And I will do this using Stormhost Silver. I will be applying this with my Size Series brush from Winsor & Newton, but once again you can use any brush with a really good point on it. And there we have it, the gold armour is finished. I'm extremely happy with how this turned out. So I'm going to finish the rest of the model and I will show you what it looks like afterwards. If you would like to know how any of the rest of the model was painted, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to cover it in a future video. And here is our brave Stormcast all finished. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please check out my other videos and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care everyone. Goodbye.